Our first impressions of Vietnam were fantastic, but a great first impression doesn't always last. So today, we're putting Ho Chi Minh City to the test. Can it really rival the places we've come to love in Malaysia? Let's start with some food. We'd been told that this small street-side restaurant, Bún Riêu Gánh, serves some of the best traditional noodle soup in Ho Chi Minh City. And when a restaurant as popular as this serves only one main dish, you know it's going to be good. And just look at those prices. 70,000 dong is about 10 ringgit, or $2.5 US. And there's no kitchen hidden in the back. The dish is cooked right out on the street. That's entertainment better than any cabaret in my book. Bún Riêu is a classic Vietnamese crab noodle soup, made with a rich tomato-based broth and rice vermicelli noodles. It's typically topped with pork, tofu and fresh herbs, creating a bowl that's light but very tasty. Its aroma is enticing, and when you taste the broth, you get a lovely balance of sweet, savoury and slightly tangy flavours. It's quite different from the noodle soups we're used to in Malaysia. It's less spicy and much lighter, but every bit as enjoyable. This place is clearly a favourite with the locals, and that's always a good sign. Sitting here enjoying a steaming bowl of Bún Riêu while the city buzzes around us was a great way to get our day going in Ho Chi Minh City. After that perfect start to the day, it was time to really get to know Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City. We felt we had to visit the Independence Palace, officially renamed Reunification Palace after the Vietnam War, and once home of South Vietnam's President Nguyen Van Thieu. It's one of the city's most important historical landmarks, and it's very well preserved. Walking through the grand reception rooms and underground command bunker, you can imagine the events that unfolded here during the final days of the Vietnam War. Apparently, President Nguyen Van Thieu played mahjong at this very table. I expect he usually won. From there, we had a short walk along the famous Book Street, enjoying some creative entertainment along the way. Then headed to Cua Bac Market to look at everyday life. Unlike some of the more touristy markets, this one feels local. There's everything from fresh fruit and vegetables to clothing, household goods, and plenty of food. Some very appetizing, others more in the interesting category. We were on a mission. We wanted to buy some cashew nuts. Apparently they're especially good in Vietnam. They weren't hard to find. Although working out the Vietnamese currency to pay for them was a bit harder.
50.
Oh, 50, I thought it was 500, I'm sorry.
200. Okay. And one more this. One more this. Yeah.
They were, by the way, very good. By now, though, the heat and humidity were catching up with us. So we found our way to one of Ho Chi Minh City's unique attractions, the apartment cafés. These were once abandoned but historic residences, which were going to be demolished, until someone had the excellent idea to turn them into modern, trendy cafes, art workshops and boutiques. There was a lift, but there was a long line and a charge, so I decided to prove to myself and anyone else who cares, that I'm still up to climbing a few flights.
And it is quite worth that.
The cafes reminded us of the trendy cafes we found in Penang, places where old buildings have been given a new lease of life. The only difference here is that in Ho Chi Minh City, the cafes aren't all on the ground floor, they're stacked one above another. The drinks were spectacular to look at, although after all that exercise, I didn't spend much time admiring them. Refreshed, we felt ready to take in a traditional water puppet performance.
While it wasn't really our thing, it's certainly a unique part of Vietnamese culture.
And it left me with vivid memories, particularly of the wonderful traditional music and the head of the man sitting in front of me.
It's 6:30 in the morning and we're in Vietnam and we're in Ho Chi Minh City. We're about to leave on a day tour to the Chi Chi tunnels and the Mekong River. It's going to be a long day, but we're up for it. See how it goes. Of course, what I should have said was the Coo Chi tunnels. Sorry about that.
But they are amazing. Almost unbelievably, they are 250 kilometers long and are an incredible underground network which was built and used by the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War. The tunnels housed kitchens, hospitals, living quarters and escape routes, allowing people to survive for years underground when the bombing was ravaging the land above. It's one thing to read about them in a history book, but quite another to actually climb down inside. The passages are incredibly narrow, dark, and, for me, claustrophobic.
On the way out, that was not easy.
It's hard to imagine what life must have been like for those who lived and fought here. I guess this is something everyone should try once. I, for one, am definitely never doing it again.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
After that extraordinary experience, we were ready for lunch. We were taken to a local restaurant to enjoy a selection of traditional Vietnamese dishes. Simple and fresh, and all very tasty. One thing we're quickly discovering is that Vietnamese food has a wonderful balance of herbs, vegetables and delicate flavours that's rather different from the richer dishes we're used to in Malaysia. In the afternoon, we travelled south to the Mekong Delta for a peaceful boat ride along one of Asia's greatest rivers.
So we finished our tour to the Coo Chi tunnels. I've learned how to say that properly now. And after a 2-hour bus ride, we're now at the Mekong River in the Mekong Delta. And we're going on a river trip to visit the Mekong Delta.
Lined with coconut palms and small villages, the Mekong River is a complete contrast to the energy of Ho Chi Minh City.
Our small wooden boat slipped quietly along the narrow waterways, surrounded by towering palms and dense tropical vegetation that made the outside world feel a million miles away.
For many people, though, these waterways also carry a much deeper meaning. Following the end of the Vietnam War, countless families fled the country by boat in search of safety and a new life. Many never reached their destination, and the term boat people carries with it the poignant story of the hardships and sacrifices endured by so many Vietnamese families. But today, the Mekong is a place of quiet beauty, where life moves at a gentle pace. As our boat drifted through the narrow canals, It was a peaceful way to reflect on Vietnam's remarkable history before continuing our journey. Back in the city for dinner, we decided to keep things simple, but still authentic. And you can't get more authentic than a bowl of Vietnamese pho, which we found at a nearby local restaurant. Pho is surely Vietnam's most iconic dish. The ones you can get in Malaysia and Boston are great, but can be a little bland. But here, the slow-cooked broth is wonderfully fragrant. The rice noodles are silky smooth, and the fresh herbs add a burst of flavour with every mouthful. It isn't as rich as Malaysian curry mee, but it's wonderfully fresh. We've never had pho as good as this. Of course, there was still room for dessert. On the street outside, we found a stall serving coconut ice cream, which became my favourite ice cream flavour after I tried it in Thailand. You might like to watch that series as well. There's a link above. The ice cream was cool, creamy and refreshing, and exactly what we needed after another hot day exploring Vietnam. As night fell, we took one last look at Ho Chi Minh City from the water, enjoying an evening cruise along the Saigon River. From here, the city looks completely different. The busy streets and endless stream of motorbikes and the energy of the day are replaced by a skyline of modern buildings glowing against the night sky. It shows the contrast that makes Ho Chi Minh City so fascinating. A city shaped by its history, but also one that's looking confidently towards the future. We're coming to realise that Vietnam is a wonderful country in its own right. It's very different from Malaysia, yet there are also familiar connections. The love of food, the importance of family and community, and the vibrant street life that makes exploring both countries so rewarding. Each has its own character, and that's what makes discovering Southeast Asia so fascinating. And our journey through Vietnam is far from over. We'll be exploring another wonderful Vietnamese city very soon. Before that, our Malaysian food journey continues, with our next video taking us back to Kuala Lumpur to discover more local favourites and remind ourselves why Malaysia remains one of our favourite food destinations in the world. So, whether you're here for Vietnam, Malaysia, or simply love exploring great food around Southeast Asia, there's plenty more to come.